Yo, what's up guys, AFC Dino here and welcome to a new video. The battle I'm about to show you guys, the battles were actually pre-recorded because I was streaming them on Discord and I was also commentating there just like I normally do, but I did mute my mic in the recording just so that I could focus more on the conversation on Discord because I was also casually talking. But I thought these battles were pretty nice to show, so that's why I'm just commentating over them right now. And I'm gonna be using this Jolty and Tyranitar team. If you guys are interested in the team, you can find them on PokePaste. You can find them on Patreon. There's a PokePaste there, link down in the description. Joining my Patreon also helps me a lot. And yeah, like, comment, and subscribe as well, guys. We are getting really close to the 3,000 subscribers. Maybe we'll have it by the time this video goes live. So that would be nice. Then the next goal is obviously going to be 5,000 subscribers for 2023, which we should be able to get if we can keep up the pace. But yeah, without further ado, though, I'm gonna start the recording or start the battle. And yeah, well, I don't remember too much about it because it was a few days ago, but yeah, we can go over some team preview here. So I see my opponent having Garchomp, Umbreon, Salamence, Weavile, Ferrothorn, and Infernape. So looking at the team, his only potential defogger is Mence, so Salamence is very likely to be like a defensive defogger. Garchomp could be the Stealth Rocker, or Ferrothorn is the Stealth Rocker, but it makes more sense if Garchomp has Stealth Rock and Ferrothorn has Spikes. However, Garchomp could be Scarf though for some speed control. And then maybe it's a mixed ape because he is lacking special attack on his team, considering he has a Weavile as well. And Umbreon, obviously the special wall of his team. I think in this game I did lead up with Mienshao to gain the momentum. If he leads up with Weavile, I can U-turn for free. I don't care too much about Rocky Helmet if Salamence comes in, and if Salamence comes in, I get Tyranitar in for free, which, if you look at his team, can do so much damage if I manage to click the correct move. But yeah, that's basically the team preview. I think I lead Mienshao in this one, and yeah, Tyranitar obviously being able to break through a lot of things. And if I get rid of the Garchomp, my Jolteon gets to click Volt Switch for free and I get Tyranitar in every time. So yeah, I actually didn't see what I led up with. Still think it was the Mienshao. We are using Choice Scarf Mienshao, by the way, so it outspeeds the Weavile if he leads up with Weavile. That's why we can U-turn for free. If he leads off with the Infernape, I don't think I'll be staying in because Infernape could still potentially be Scarfed and I don't want Mienshao to die. So, but my opponent does lead up with the Weavile here, which is amazing for me. He was pretty high ranking, I don't remember his exact ranking. I think it was rank 14 or something. I'll be able to U-turn here for free, and if he brings in Salamence, I get in my Tyranitar. And I just have to click the correct move. But if he goes into the wrong switch, Tyranitar just does so much damage because we are choice banned. And yeah, he does bring in the Mence, and it's like I mentioned, I just need to get Tyranitar in versus this. And in this scenario, I was also like, he should not lose. Like, I was fine with predicting here. I didn't need to click Stone Edge because if he does stay in and die to Stone Edge, he's just going to lose to Mienshao. So that's why I assumed he was knowing what he was doing, because if he loses Salamence, he's just gonna lose to my Mienshao. That's why I went for Superpower here. Most likely, at least that's what I would go for. It hits his whole team really well. Because if he stays in, he could have potentially died to Stone Edge. And he went into Garchomp, which was awesome because damage on this meant that Jolteon could knock it out. But I miss 100% accuracy move due to Senville. Really stupid ability. Really stupid ability. And that really sucks because now I have to switch into this Garchomp, which I don't really like. Especially because I think this Garchomp ended up having Stone Edge. That's why it really sucked for me. But I defog here. Like, I really needed to hit that superpower. I think I was mentioning it on the stream as well. He goes for Stone Edge because hitting that superpower also means close combat for Miensha knocks it out, and hidden power rise obviously knocks it out. But yeah, we find out that this Garchomp isn't life worth. He's in Choice Scarfed, but I roost there. He's probably switching here. He's getting up rocks, and then he's switching. But I definitely don't want to be dealing with rocks here, because he could also miss Stone Edge. So I had nothing better to do than to defog his rocks away. But this really sucked. He did miss Stone Edge here actually, so he didn't go for Stone Edge. So a bit of payback, but I would rather hit the Stone Edge, hit the superpower on him, because that also puts him in foul play range. But I foul play here as my opponent goes Umbreon. Umbreon usually doesn't carry Toxic, so I wasn't sure what he was going to do to me, because the best thing he could do is a Wish. I just went for U-turn. And I felt like if he does stay in here, he's most likely going for Toxic. I think I'd rather him Weezing here, or Ferrothorn, one of the two. I do go Weezing, and I tried to get up Toxic Spikes, obviously, and force the Tyranitar to click Defog, as my opponent does go for Toxic. And here I'll be able to go for the Toxic Spikes, get him up. Umbreon most likely has Heal Bell. My opponent going directly into Ferrothorn, and I was thinking maybe he would switch into Salamence to scout for the Flamethrower, but here I was like, it's fine. If I can somehow damage the Ferrothorn, then it becomes easier for my Mienshao later on, and for Tyranitar, because with a bit of chip he's gonna die to superpower as well. And my opponent does decide to stay in, so he's gonna take like 60% or something, as he goes for Stealth Rock. Yeah, he does get him up. It sucks, but because he was running double Stealth Rock, so that was kind of annoying. I think here I went into Tyranitar anticipating the Salamence to come in. Like, he could have gone Garchomp, but it would have been risky if I went for Will-O-Wisp. And I have Toxic Spikes up as well, so if he did go Garchomp, he would have been poisoned. And here I anticipated the Mance, and like I said, now I get to click Stone Edge, because I punish him if he goes for Defog, and if he goes into Garchomp here, he's gonna take a lot of damage from Stone Edge. And I clicked Superpower earlier, so he knows I have it. If he brings in Ferrothorn on it, Ferrothorn is gonna die. It's probably gonna go into Garchomp here. I actually went into Ferrothorn. Did I actually Stone Edge here? Yeah, I did. Okay. Don't remember too much, but he went into Ferrothorn. Not too bad, because he did reveal Stealth Rock to me, and I just go into my own Ferrothorn here. As my opponent tried to go for Leech Seed, because the Ferrothorn got really low. And do I go for Rocks here, or do I go for Leech or Knockoff? Let's see. Stealth Rock makes sense, but Knockoff as well if he does decide to go for an aggressive switch. And he does decide to go into Salamence. And getting rid of the Rocky Helmet is nice, because my Tyranitar can click Crunch on Salamence now more easily. Do I stay in here though? I don't see any point of staying in. I think I just go into Mandibuzz. Because if he defogs here for me, because I'm pretty sure you don't want to deal with Toxic Spikes having like 4 Pokemon weak to it. It's probably defogging for me, and now I get to click U-turn. Because if he decides to go for Roost, I get Tyranitar in again. And it's gonna suck, but if he switches here, I gain momentum. Like, I have a Jolteon, which outspeeds his whole team. And I have obviously Mienshao as well. So my U-turn is pretty free. And if he does decide to stay in, I get into Tyranitar to get off a big hit. He goes for Hurricane. Again, I get into Tyranitar now. He does get the Confusion. I need to break through. It kind of sucks because you can get up Rocks for free now. With the Garchomp. But I bring in the Tyranitar. Would have been cool if I had Ice Punch here. I already have a whole moveset. So I think I just go for Stone Edge here as well. Because I could go Superpower here. But Stone Edge still gonna do a lot of damage to Ferrothorn, and I can maybe crit him, and he does go Garchomp. And just look at this damage, guys. I managed to connect the Stone Edge, Look at this. Look at how much this resisted attack does. Like, that's about 40 to 45%. If I hit the superpower early, he would have died. That's why I'm annoyed that the superpower missed versus him. I do think I went into Mandibus here, in case he does go for rocks. Like, he could be clicking Stone Edge. He still needs to connect 2. But he has to connect 1, and maybe he can knock me out with Dragon Claw then if he has Dragon Claw. But he revealed Stealth Rock, so I don't know if he has Dragon Claw. But if he gets up rocks, it's over for Mandibus anyway. So I think I just go Mandibus here. And yeah, if anything, I just sack Mandibus here. Mandibus is not gonna defend against Weavile. And Ferrothorn revealed Stealth Rock. But maybe he doesn't have spikes. Kind of strange that he's running double Stealth Rock on his team. I'll actually go into Ferrothorn here. Maybe because he revealed Stone Edge. That way I can trade Stealth Rock. I see. This way I can trade Stealth Rock. Because he revealed Stone Edge, so I didn't think he would have had a fire type attack. And he does indeed go for Earthquake. Which actually does quite a bit to me. But I do get up my rocks, and rocks are pressuring the Weavile, so that's really nice. Ferrothorn doesn't really need to wall anything. I already revealed knockoff, but I think I go for Power Whip here, because if I get the Power Whip damage off on Garchomp, he's gonna be in U-turn range from Mienshao, and in Hidden Power Rise range as well. He's already in Hidden Power Rise range, but just getting him into U-turn range, in range of Mienshao in general, is really nice. And I felt like I deserved to connect this Power Whip because I freaking missed the superpower 100% accuracy move. So there's no switch for me. Mandibus is gonna die to the next attack if I come in on Stone Edge. I was considering maybe keeping Ferrothorn alive though, but I felt like Mandibus does really well for Salamence. I can bring it in. That's why I most likely will Power Whip here. And he does Earthquake, and I need to pray to God that I actually connect this attack, which I did. And that was really important to connect that one. I mean, we wouldn't have been in this position if I hit the superpower earlier. Yeah, that's beside the point. And here I just sack my Ferrothorn. Salamence most likely had the Flamethrower anyway. But now I get in my Mienshao. And he's gonna be in U-turn range. I have Stealth Rock up as well. It's gonna suck because he's obviously gonna switch out his Garchomp. So Garchomp can come in and click Earthquake to kill something else. Which now I don't have a switch to because my Mandibus is low and he has Stealth Rock up. So Mandibus will always get to a kill by the Stone Edge. But if he does go into Salamence here, I'll get into Renatar and be in a super great position because I want to get rid of the Salamence, right? So my Mienshao actually wins this game, and he does go into Salamence here. Or do I go into Jolteon to click Hidden Power Ice? Or Volt Switch actually. I think I was calking here to see if Volt Switch would knock him out. I think that would make more sense than going to Renatar, because Salamence might be faster than Tyranitar, because he's naturally faster even without running any speed. I literally need to be Jolly to outspeed Salamence. So I think I went into Jolteon here. I was calking here. I can calk now as well, just to see if my Jolteon would knock it out, but I think I make the Jolteon play over Tyranitar to knock him out with Volt Switch. Because if he does go into Salamence, into Umbreon, I'll be fine as well. And like I said, the Garchomp doesn't really matter because Garchomp is going to die to Hidden Power Rise anyway. So he was at 32.7, and I think I do knock out Mance from that HP. Yeah, like I was 100% going to kill him. Or I need like, or unless I get like the lowest possible roll. I think it was like an 83% chance to knock him out or something. This is why I went for Volt Switch, because that would have gained me the most if he did decide to switch it to Umbreon. And he does decide to stay in this way. Now, I knock him out, obviously. And now I get a Mian Xiao. And like I mentioned earlier, look at his team without Salamence. What is he gonna do to a Choice Scarf Mian Xiao? Like, I outspeed his Infernape. If Infernape isn't Scarfed, I outspeed Weavile. Weavile's most likely not Scarfed. Garchomp isn't Scarfed. We got damage off on Ferrothorn, remember? So he's not full HP, so he can never live a close combat. And we even got damage off on Umbreon, and we have Stalbrook up. So he does go into Infernape here, and I decide to switch here. Just in case he's Scarfed, because if he's Scarfed, then he can obviously kill me. But I do have Weezing in the back. So I think I decide to go Weezing here. And and here I was just feeling my eyes on my HP bar to see if he's perhaps Choice Banded or something. He goes for Fire Punch. And he crits me, which sucked. But we see Life Orb, and then I knew, okay, this game is over because I just win with Mian Xiao. I think I just let myself die here, or I go for Toxic Spikes. I didn't go for Pain Split because I knew my Mian Xiao was going to win here. And with the Toxic Spikes up, I just secure my win for Umbreon. Because he will be guaranteed poisoned. And even Infernape with Mach Punch cannot kill me. So I literally go into this, and I don't think he has Mach Punch. He could have, but it's not gonna kill me. And I can just... If he has it, he should use it, so then it can become a mind game versus the Weavile. But I still have Tyranitar in the back, which still claims to kill with Superpower if I get it in versus Umbreon. With the poison, of course. So Garchomp comes in there. I just close combat here as well. My opponent decides to forfeit. And it's how we win this game. So, like I mentioned earlier, the moment he loses Salamence, that's why I was predicting against his Salamence that he would switch out versus me a bunch of times. That's actually I actually have my window open, but those were the moments I could predict, because if he loses Salamence, you saw what happens, and I'm pretty sure my opponent knew as well what was going to happen in the moment he lost his Salamence. And now I'm just gonna skip ahead to the next battle. Let's see. So here we have another battle, and yeah, we're playing against pretty interesting team. I think I lead off with Mandibus in this one, or I lead Mian Xiao. Actually, don't know. Mian Xiao is actually decent as well because it could be Scarf Rotom, so I probably led off with Mian Xiao. This one, in case it's Scarf Rotom, it's just a free U-turn level 1. And the biggest threat to on his team is definitely the Excadrill. Just look at my team. Understand Storm. What am I gonna do versus Excadrill? If my Ferrothorn was physical, I could have Power Whipped him. But yeah, my Excadrill is gonna die. Mandibus is not gonna take it well. But my opponent leads off with Tyranitar. And I was pretty sure he would switch out versus me. And most likely into the Salamence, right? Like, I could have clicked Toxic here. But I just wanted to see how he was going to play versus me. Because in this game as well, if I get rid of the Salamence, my Mian Xiao kind of goes in. And he does go into Mince. Like, I didn't know his skill level. Like, I could have obviously gone for Toxic. But here, do I go into Tyranitar? Okay. I think I just go for Crunch here. It still hits Excadrill, but I wasn't sure whether to go for Superpower here. In this case, I didn't go for Stone Edge because Excadrill does 4 times resisted, but I should at least do half HP. And I don't think he can kill my Ferrothorn from full if he isn't Life Orbed. And if he's Life Orbed, I just have to play around his Life Orb. My opponent does end up going into Drill here. If I did go for that Superpower play. But just look at how much HP he lost. Because Crunch would have pretty much hit anything on his team, even the Tyranitar. For some reason, for some decent damage. Here I could have stayed in. Swords Dance was definitely scary, but I felt like I needed to keep Tyranitar. And my opponent does end up Swords Dancing, which, yeah, kind of sucks for me. if he was life orb, he could have knocked me out. So I went to the Ferrothorn. Because if he wasn't life orb, I can bring back him Mandibuzz to knock him out with Foul Play. And I already knew I was at least going to lose 2 Pokemon to this, at least. And luckily for me, he actually was Iron Head. He takes Iron Barbs plus Stealth Rock. Iron Barbs plus Life Orb Recoil. And I think I needed to let him use Iron Head on me one more time. But yeah, like I said, I knew I was going to lose 2 Pokemon to this. So I go into this Pokemon again. And here, I was sure he didn't have a Rock Slide then. Most likely Rapid Spin, Sword Stance. So I go back into the Ferrothorn. I go back into the Ferrothorn hoping that he would go for Iron Head. Like, Ferrothorn obviously is nice versus Starmie. Like, I was considering maybe keeping him. But I needed to get rid of this Pokemon. And I was at least going to lose 2 Pokemon. And he does Iron Head me here. Unfortunately, I do get 2-hit KO, so he does get the roll on me. And I was actually hoping he would die here, but he has 1 more hit on me, so yeah. I'm gonna lose another Pokemon. I tried to go Mandibuzz, because there was actually still a roll whether I would live Iron Head or not, so I tried to roost there. Because I was considering, keeping Mandibuzz, because it does switch well versus Starmie. But it's also weak against the Tyranitar, and I can still get up Toxic Spikes with my Weezing, which can actually help me a lot versus Starmie. Versus Tyranitar as well, and versus Volcarona. So here there was a good possibility that I would live the Iron Head, because it was a roll. And if I get the roost off on that Iron Head, if he doesn't flinch me, I would have been in a really great position. So yeah, my opponent doesn't have Iron Heading me, and unfortunately I do get knocked out. He does die. I knew I was going to at least lose 2 Pokemon to this. But yeah, I wanted to keep Weezing, and here I think I lead up with Mienshao again. Because again, I can Stone Edge the Volcarona. I haven't revealed Choice Scarf either. He didn't see Life Orb damage on me though, so maybe he knows I'm Choice Scarf. But he does go into the Tyranitar again, and at this point, I could not afford to lose momentum here, so I think I just U-turn here as well. I could not afford to lose momentum, so I U-turn. I could always go into Weezing, and if he gets up Stealth Rock, I just go for Toxic Spikes. And my opponent does go into the Salamence this time. And this is where I can bring in Tyranitar, which again, he doesn't have a switch for. I could also go into Jolteon, but like he doesn't have a switch for my Tyranitar. So I think I just Stone Edge, because there's literally no switch. And my opponent actually Dragon Dancing in my face, in the face of a Tyranitar, which could run Ice Punch, has Rock type attacks, and I do not come out. Like, he did the same thing with the Excadrill. He saw I could knock him out with Crunch, and he still confidently went for Sword Stance. And now Starmie comes in, and I think I just go hard into Jolteon here, just because Jolteon can at least take 1 hit, but then I can get a Volt Switch off on him. He does go for Surf, but I didn't want to lose a Pokemon yet, because otherwise I would be a Pokemon behind, and that could be detrimental to me. So I went into Jolteon, knew I could live a hit, and now I get Volt Switch off as he goes Tyranitar. And I think at this point I will go into Mienshao and click Close Combat, but I'm not sure. Because he saw me U-turning so many times, but maybe I'm too chicken to Close Combat here as well, and just U-turn anyway. I think U-turning is... There's nothing wrong with U-turning here though, just because I obviously need to keep Mienshao alive, and my opponent does stay in, but yeah, I would have knocked him out. However, I get in my Weezing here, I think, so I can just click Toxic Spikes and poison something. If I need to get rid of the Starmie though, I can Close Combat win. He crits me on Stone Edge, which sucked. Do you think I get up a Toxic Spike here? Or do I go for Wisp? Nah. Toxic Spikes, because Burning the Starmie doesn't do much for me. Burning the Rotom doesn't do much for me. Burning Volcarona is not possible. And my opponent went for Stealth Rock. I think I just go hard Mienshao here, because I know I can live Stone Edge, because he wasn't Choice Banded. Right, he switched moves. We didn't see Life Orb, so I knew I could live an attack with Mienshao. And this way I kept up the momentum. And I think now I do go for close combat with Toxic Spikes available to me. Because then Starmie is definitely gonna die, and if I poison poison Volcarona, that would be nice as well. And I just go hard to Renatar, because if my opponent Quiver Dances up, I can kill him on the next turn. And if he kills me, like if he kills me after Quiver Dance, my Mienshao will still be faster than Volcarona. So my opponent decides to go Starmie here, but I did get the poison off. Like I said, I need damage on him so I can knock him out with U-turn later on. And that's why these Toxic Spikes are really important. Now that I got the Toxic Spikes up, I did go into Weezing here to sack him. Obviously, it would be bad if he goes for the Rapid Spin, but I know my Tyranitar can live 1 attack from full HP with the Sandstorm boost. With the Sandstorm boosting his special defense. So then I can at least click Crunch. And now I went into Jolteon, I think. Like, this damage is really nice because, like I said, I need to knock him out with U-turn later on, potentially. Because I don't know how long my Jolteon will obviously stay alive. It's not gonna beat Volcarona, even with the Toxic Spikes. So here, I Volt Switch again. So my opponent goes Rotom. And I think I just go Mienshao because I am faster anyway and get a free U-turn. Because I also don't know what kind of Rotom we're dealing with. And in that scenario, I think I just sack my Jolteon. By the off chance he goes for a Volt Switch, but he's most likely Leaf Storming here, and there's no point in him not going for Leaf Storm. But he is leftovers. I still think U-turn is a 2-hit KO. Because it is super effective damage. And yeah, that was definitely a 2-hit KO. I sack Jolteon there. Because I think it was better to keep Tyranitar, because Tyranitar with full HP could kill at least Starmie or Volcarona with Crunch. But my opponent actually decided to go for the Will-O-Wisp. So I actually kept Jolteon, but I would have preferred him knocking me out. But I think I just hit him Power Ice here. Because I didn't want to Volt Switch into Mienshao or Tyranitar. But maybe I should have just Thunderbolted. As he Leaf Storms now. And I get in my Mienshao in case he's faster than my Tyranitar. And like I said, Tyranitar can either kill Starmie or Volcarona. And they cannot kill me with the Sandstorm boosting my special defense. And this is why I thought it was important for Weezing to get up the Toxic Spikes, because I needed damage up so I can knock him out with U-turn. I was already looking into the future, like when playing this game, like I was mentioning in the Discord stream. That's why I kept my Weezing instead of Mandibuzz, even though Mandibuzz could defend against Starmie. Because Toxic Spike also pressuring this, and now I just click Crunch because I'm 100% gonna kill him. Even if he has Focus Sash, doesn't matter. Bug Buzz is not gonna kill me because I have the Sandstorm boosting my special defense, and I knock him out with Crunch. And Starmie cannot knock me out with Rapid Spin. So Starmie is at least going to take the poison damage plus Sandstorm damage. And I was hoping that that would be enough for U-turn to knock him out. Because obviously Surf is gonna kill me here. I was full HP as well, so if Starmie for some reason was Choice Scarfed, I wouldn't die on Mienshao. Does go for Surf, and yeah, the Sandstorm plus Poison. It was still kind of scary because I wasn't sure whether I was going to knock him out. But I felt like if he's a fully offensive Starmie, he should die. I also didn't calc the damage, but I didn't think it was choice specs because he would have done way more to my Jolteon. But maybe I'm wrong. My U-turn does end up knocking him out though. He went because he used Surf. Thinking about it, like, yeah, he wasn't choice specs either. So I'm not sure what kind of item he had. But we were faster with Mienshao. We did knock him out with the U-turn, luckily, before he was able to touch us with Psychic or Psyshock. So that ended up being really nice for us, and yeah, we won that game. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. Some pretty close games on both sides. Hold up, let me pull it back a bit. Some pretty close games, both ends. Actually, the first one wasn't that close because we stick to our game plan. But in both games, Mienshao putting in the work for us. You guys get to see the power of Choice Scarf Mienshao. Like, I feel like right now in this meta, Choice Scarfers are much more necessary with the addition of Superior, which outspeeds Gengar. So Gengar actually dropping in T-Rich usage as well, because Superior just outclasses Gengar right now as a special attacker, because he basically gets a free Nasty Plot from clicking Leaf Storm, and then he has the coverage with Dragon Pulse and Hidden Power Fire, but he can also be annoying with Leech Seed and Substitute and Glare, of course. Like a bunch of options on the Superior. And yeah, I do think Superior is also a better substitute user than Gengar right now. But on the other hand, Gengar can still be annoying versus things like Chansey when they are using Seismic Dose. But yeah, like I said, with the addition of Superior, I think Choice Scarfers are much more necessary because there aren't many Pokemon in the meta in OU that outspeed Superior. Like only a bunch like Weavile, and if you count Crobat, Jolteon is faster, but Jolteon doesn't do shit to Superior. Like Hidden Power Rise, that's only like 40%, I think. So that's not it. But you really need Choice Scarfers to beat Superior, because any offensive Pokemon that doesn't resist this attack is gonna die to a +2 Leaf Storm. So yeah, I'm glad I got to show off the power of Choice Scarf Mienshao. But yeah, I hope to see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Join our Discord server, because I sometimes stream like this, and I do record still in case I can use the battle, in case there are fun battles to watch. But yeah, the commentary is mostly on stream and Discord. And yeah, check out my Patreon as well. It supports me, and you will get my teams in return as a bit of an extra service to you guys. But yeah, with that all being said, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.